What this teaches us is that this is not going to be nice and clean and easy. And for those of us that have always believed that racial equality should be inherent and you can't really understand why anybody would fight against it, this should be a wake-up call. In 2020, it is not inherent to a lot of people. There's at least enough people that don't believe that everybody should be equal, that there is a lesser race. And I have to say, most of those people are not our best people in this country. Most of those people are some of our worst people in this country. And if you have a part of you that believes that, then you should really question where you learned that from and why you really believe it. A lot of this is just handed down. A lot of this is that you respect dad or you respect pop, and they raised you, or you respect mom or grandmom, and that's the way they thought. And that's the way they felt. And you just absorbed that. But if you think driving up to Talladega with a Confederate flag, flying it over top, or that Black Lives Matter doesn't mean anything, or that this is all much ado about nothing, then you really need to ask yourself, why are you on the outside of what so many people believe is the right thing, this morally correct thing? Why do you feel like you've got it figured out when so many people go, no, this is the right moral thing to do? Because I hate to break it to you, but equality is in our Constitution. It is the very basis of our Constitution. And what we're learning is that in 2020, even hundreds of years after the Constitution was written and the structure of this country was set up, it has not been enacted. It is not a real equality. It's just not. And if you're fighting against that, you've got a problem. And this noose is such a symbol of intimidation that goes back to know your place. And the noose represents shut up and dribble. Which is why, if you align with shut up and dribble, it is also very inherently racist. You might not even view it as such. You might just say, hey, these players are making so much money, I just don't want to hear it. They got a good life. What you are saying is that you are distilling an athlete down to nothing more than being an athlete. That's it. They cannot have thoughts of themselves. They cannot have ideas or hopes or dreams. They cannot be multi-layered. They cannot have a voice. They are just supposed to be there to play sports for us. It is inherently an incredibly racist phrase, which is why LeBron and many others have fought against it. And if you align with it, I'm sorry, you're racist. Because you might say, well, it has nothing to do with being black. I would tell a white player to shut up and dribble. By doing it, you're being completely disrespectful to them as human beings. And a noose and a shut up and dribble is the same exact type of know your place, son. Know your place. Don't get all big and bold. Know your place. You're just an athlete. The news for Bubba Wallace is such an overt symbol of hate, such an overt symbol of violence and death. What it is saying is, stop rocking the boat. Black Lives Matter, no Confederate flag. You need to know your place. Silence. And shut up and dribble is, hey, silence. We don't want to hear from you. You just do your little sports thing. All these phrases, all these symbols have been baked into our country for a long time, and more people than you think are racist. And if you believe in this post-racial America where Oprah's rich and Bill Cosby had the #1 TV show in America and Eddie Murphy's rich and Chris Rock is rich and LeBron James is rich and Michael Jordan is rich and hell, we had a black president, so how bad can it be? You got to wake up. And this is a time in America where people are forcing other people that have been dead to this stuff to wake up. And if you want to believe that you actually still have the best in yourself left to go, which I hope we all should, that I'm not a perfect product and I'm striving to be better every day. And I hope by the end of my life, I will be better than I am today. Then this is a really good pivot point for you. This is a really good pivot point for all of us to recognize the thinking that because we had a black president and we have black millionaires that play sports or entertainment suddenly means that racism is gone or they got it good enough is such a delusion. Here's Bubba Wallace, who has gotten to his platform of being a NASCAR driver on merit, on ability, on his competitiveness, and being the only African-American driver on the tour, is saying, here's what's important to me and the people that are like me, my community. We want you to respect that. So Confederate flags are disrespectful. We want you to respect us, so no Confederate flags. NASCAR taking that step, and then this is a reaction. People driving up with their Confederate flags, flying over top of the Confederate flags and the noose. What are you telling them? You are telling them we don't care what other people think. We only care what we think. And shut up and drive.